Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day regardless of this red in the market. Holy cow, everything is on sale right now. Not proposing you buy anything with leverage at the moment, or if you do, of course, I would insist you use low leverage, low position size, just generally the best practice for situations like this. But the truth is we're entering, or we are now in that lower support range. Remember, 97 to 100,000 is that close approximate of support. So we're going to see if that holds. Probably best to be patient and wait. If you look at this candle here, we haven't seen this kind of a selling candle in quite some time. December 18th was the last one there. The price continued, recovered for a dead cat and pulled back. And then prior to that, we had this very strong manipulative wick as well. So I really feel like there's something different about this here, albeit good or bad. It's hard to say just yet, but this is a lot of unnecessary selling pressure and the price just keeps going down. So be very careful taking a trade today. I'm happy with the fact that we took very low leverage trades here recently to the upside. While they're in the red, we're averaging in nicely, and at this point, we're still above support in all three trades. So not a problem. Either way you look at it here, we'll go ahead and discuss those a little bit later, but for right now, let's take a look at the backend data, kind of see what's going on here. Because we look at the last 7 days, we can kind of zoom in and see there is a pretty large chunk of liquidation down as low as about 94K. It goes all the way down to about 91, 92K, of course, but there's significant levels at 97, 96, 95, and 94. Pretty much every round number there has a pretty heavy concentration. So just know that that's a real thing now that we're close to that. When we take a look here at the monthly, we'll kind of zoom out. There is a chunk here about 97,000. It would make sense for us to get that, to see that get hit there. And those are mostly just late longs here, taking a long at the bottom, okay? Because you can kind of see that candle wick. It stops right here. So basically implying that people, whoever took a long at 97K has potential for getting swept there. And again, those are high leverage longs. You can tell because they're right there at the exact level. So, again, taking a high leverage long at what you feel is the bottom, it doesn't make a ton of sense. Now, again, hindsight's 2020, right? I mentioned, shorting at 102,000 doesn't make any sense either, but everything was pointing up, and that would have been a bad call, even though right now it looks like the good call, right? It's kind of funny how that works out, but that's just how the market is. It'll always manipulate itself to essentially sweep majority of high leverage longs or shorts. That's generally how it works. So just don't be another statistic. If you use low leverage, you'll find more sustainability and you'll probably be in a much better position, albeit you could still be in the red. You may actually have a portfolio left instead of just getting liquidated left and right. Anyways, liquidation delta here, we take a look here. Instant cliff, right? 5 billion liquidation delta this time last night, and price drops super hard. So the general consensus here is that more people are taking shorts than longs. So it's usually best not to try to take a long into that until that dynamic shifts, if you will. Okay, it doesn't always shift, but it can. And again, longer, bigger picture here. Remember 97.5, we talked about this yesterday. That is that area of supports, basically the last level of support here based on open interest. Secondary to that is about 95K. So we lose 97. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of interest between here and there. And again, this is just where people are averaged in the most. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be a super strong support or resistance, but it does give us indication that that's an area that people are interested in. So I think right now the reason why the price may hold or sustain at 97K is just because people feel like it's a good value again, right? That's kind of the general concept. So let's take a look at the daily and see what's going on here. Not much else to really note. Bitcoin dominance is just kind of increasing. This is kind of standard stuff here. Very much normal for the situation. So I'm not super, super convinced that the bottom is in right now for alts, but also in the same accord, it really just depends on how Bitcoin performs the next 24 hours. We can hold this 97K range. I think alts will probably start to recover. We continue to move down. They're going to move down with it probably pretty fast here soon. The bottom may drop out. But either way you look at it, let's look at the daily time frame here. So far, we're printing a bearish engulfing candle. The candlestick hasn't closed yet, but it would be awesome if we got a 98K or higher close today. I think it's still yet to remains to be seen. It's hard to say. It's really early at this point. The key takeaway though is we look at the 50 and the 20 SMA. Those are both right there at 96 and 97.5. So we're right there in that support range with our macro point of control too. In fact, we zoom out a little bit further. I think it goes down a little bit lower, if I'm not mistaken. And we're in a position right now. Yeah, we're basically low 97,000 is that support range for us. 50 on the RSI still hasn't been broken yet. We can see stochastics trying to swing down. MACD is diverging, of course. or trying to diverge is on its way. So for the most part, this is not really all that terrible. We're actually still in pretty good shape, believe it or not. I would say losing 97K, not optimal. That would probably push us to that $95,000 range to kind of hit this next point of control and or this next heavy concentration of liquidation, right? I mean, you could say it's heavy no matter where you look, but 95,000, there's a pretty significant chunk right there. So just something to be aware of. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame, see what's going on. And on the 4-hour time frame, I generally like to look at the moving averages. We're above the 50. That is a very good constellation. That's once again 97,000, but it is a constellation nonetheless, right? When the price is running like this, you don't generally try to catch a falling knife or to try to take a long into it. It doesn't make a ton of sense. You generally best it's generally best to wait for the bottom to find itself. Right now we're in that little short-term discovery mode where the price is like trying to figure out where the heck do I go next. But we do see a lot of confluence at that 97 to 96K range. So short term, I think 95 to 97K is kind of a worst case scenario for us. I don't foresee us losing 95,000, but again, you never truly know. Taking a look here though, we are under 50 in the RSI on the 4-hour, generally shifting bearish. Money flow index is pulling back with it, stochastic swinging down, MACD diverging. So there's more bearish signs here letting us know that further downside is probable and it's generally not favorable to take a long. If you do consider a long, of course, because I know yesterday I was like, man, I would love to see a price point of 98,000. We're below that now, so it seems like a good value, right? Well, truth is the dynamic has shifted. We lost some key level supports. It doesn't make a ton of sense to long into that because those will be resistances now. So I'm thinking better case scenario, if the price does recover, 99,000 is probably that next level of resistance. So again, just something to kind of be aware of. Here we are moving down lower as well as we speak. Ichimoku Cloud kind of confirming here that we lost our trend line. Lagging spans free and clear, conversion lines below the baseline. There is no reason to take a long. In fact, if the price does recover to like this $98,000 to $99,000 range, it may be a good consideration for a short. So I'm not saying you just shift gears and just short everything like crazy right now, but I am telling you that everything's moving down and it's best to go with the grain for the moment. But if you're thinking about like a long-term swing trade, a short to 70,000 may not be a good call, right? Come on, make sure you're not being unsensible when you're taking trades, because again, depending on the duration of your hold or your trade, can determine a lot of success. So I would say short-term bearish. Macro is still technically on the bullish side of things, which seems kind of weird to say, but it's still okay. And I don't think that this is anything to write home about. So try not to overreact and just get too crazy. Altcoins are already overreacting, right? We don't need to. So just some friendly advice there. Again, easier said than done, but generally speaking, in situations like this, I kind of take a step back, I relax and wait for the price action to kind of level itself out. I may consider some limit orders on some altcoins at lower price points, just based on the fact that we are still moving down. And if that were to be the case, if I were to take any kind of longs today, they're going to be longs at key level supports with very low leverage. Because again, the reason why, and folks were asking me yesterday, why did you take long positions with low leverage? What's the point of that? If you used higher leverage, you would have been able to hit your profit targets. The truth is that's I did that because of testing this key level resistance, this golden pocket for Bitcoin. While we did take some longs, they're safe longs. They're super low leverage. Like we're talking like 2.5x leverage. And I know most people are probably rolling their eyes because they're like, wait a minute, low leverage to me is 5 to 10x. No, you got to go a lot lower or just use no leverage at all. Okay, right now is the situation for that. If you're going to take any longs, make sure you limit your risk by taking low leverage trades and or low position size. One of the two must occur. Low leverage makes the most sense because then you don't have to face liquidation quite as quickly as you would with higher leverage and a small position size. So just please be aware of that. Anyways, those are all just things that I like to make sure to educate you on because we got a lot of newer traders. I appreciate you watching. Thank you again so much for listening and hopefully learning some today. Comment below. You get a chance. Let me know what your position is or your thoughts. Don't forget to join us over here at Bitunix as well. Awesome exchange link down below for them. They have been phenomenal to us. Every month they're offering a new promotion. It's pretty cool. So congrats on that. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.